This story is based on a true incident, and it was sent to us by one of our subscribers, Liam, who used to work at the same call center where this terrifying event took place. Noah and I worked at a call center in New Zealand. It was a night shift job, and all night long the large office hall echoed with the white glow of computer screens and the constant voices coming through headsets. At night, that office felt like an entirely different world. Outside, the industrial area was almost completely deserted, and inside, only exhausted agents sat in their cubicles taking calls. Right next to our cubicle, there was another one where a very beautiful girl worked. Her name showed up on the system every single day. She was always on time. She would quietly place her bag on the chair, log into her system, put on her headset, and begin working. My friend Samar was very friendly, so every now and then he would say hi to her. She would only give a faint smile and then go right back to staring at her screen. Ava was normal with everyone. She was the office's star performer, and everyone liked her. But one night, around 12:30 a.m., Ava received a call. She put on her headset and kept speaking softly for a very long time. That call had already been going on for hours. My entire team found it strange, because our calls usually never lasted more than 10 to 15 minutes. For Ava's safety, our team leader tapped into the call. The moment he listened, we were all shocked. There was no one on the other side. As soon as the team leader tapped the line, Ava abruptly disconnected the call and stared at us with an intensely strange, furious expression. When the team leader asked her what had suddenly happened, she said nothing. She simply grabbed her bag and walked out of the office. After that day, she never came back. At first, nobody paid much attention, but then 3 days passed. Her phone was unreachable. Our team leader finally contacted the address Ava had listed on her joining form. What he told us after that sent chills down our spines. The people living at that address said Ava had died years ago. When her parents were contacted, they confirmed it too. Their daughter had died almost 8 years earlier. The night we learned this, a strange silence filled the office. Noah and I just stared at each other. We had seen Ava every single day. She sat right beside us. Her system logged in every day. Her bag was always on that chair. If she had died years ago, then who had been working with us? After that, the atmosphere in the office completely changed. Then the strange incidents began. One time, footsteps were heard near the pantry, as if someone was slowly walking across the floor. The security guard checked the entire corridor that night, but there was no one there. That same night, one of the agents came running out of the restroom, her face completely pale. She said that while washing her hands, she heard footsteps behind her. When she looked in the mirror, there was a girl standing directly behind her. White shirt, loose hair, a face exactly like Ava's. But the eyes were blood red. When she turned around, the restroom was completely empty. After that, people stopped going to the restroom alone during the night shift. Then another incident happened. One night, the pantry motion sensor lights suddenly switched on. But that was impossible, because the pantry was completely empty. When the CCTV footage was checked, it showed the shadow of the water dispenser slowly changing into the shadow of a person, as if a girl was standing there. The incidents kept increasing. Late one night, I was sitting at my desk working when the computer in the cubicle across from me suddenly turned on by itself. The login page opened. A few seconds later,
An agent ID logged in automatically. The name on the screen read Ava. It was the exact same computer she used to sit at. I was frozen in fear. The screen stayed like that for a few seconds, and then the system locked itself out. The next day, I told Samar about it, but he refused to believe any of it. Or maybe he simply didn't want to believe it. But then came the night that made him realize this wasn't imagination. This was real. That night, I was on leave, and Samar had gone in for the night shift. It was around 3 a.m., and the shift was almost over when suddenly, Samar got a call. The moment he heard the voice, he froze. "Hello, this is Ava speaking. How can I help you?" It was Ava's voice on the other side. Samar panicked and immediately disconnected the call. At that exact moment, the lights in the call center began flickering and then suddenly shut off. Everyone assumed it was a power failure, so most people went downstairs for a break. But Samar was too shaken. He stayed in his seat, thinking about that call. Then, in the faint light coming through the office window, he saw the chair in front of him slowly spinning on its own. It was the same chair where Ava used to sit. Terrified, Samar went to the pantry to drink some water and calm himself down. But what happened there nearly stopped his heart.
As he was filling a cup from the water cooler, he suddenly felt as if a girl was standing right behind him.
"Hi, Samar. Have you forgotten me already?" a girl's voice whispered. In the darkness, Samar turned around and saw two glowing red eyes and messy hair. The face looked horribly familiar. It was Ava. Suddenly, the office lights came back on, and there was no one there. Samar grabbed his bag and rushed toward the elevator to leave. He pressed G for the ground floor. He was alone inside, trembling with fear. But when the elevator doors opened, his blood ran cold. It looked like the elevator had opened into a graveyard. There were people everywhere, but they all looked lifeless, like corpses, like zombies. Every single one of them was staring at him, and among them was Ava. "I like you a lot, Samar. Why don't you say hi anymore?" Samar collapsed into the corner of the elevator, chanting God's name with his eyes shut. A few moments later, the next shift employees stepped into the elevator and found him trembling violently in the corner. When he opened his eyes, everything was normal. He was on the building's ground floor. There were no corpses, no graveyard. But still terrified, Samar rushed home and called me the moment he got there, telling me everything. The very next day, both of us quit that job and never went back to that call center. A few weeks later, my PG owner told me something horrifying. That BPO had actually been built on land where a graveyard once stood. The graveyard had been demolished to build the office, and maybe Ava was one of the restless spirits from that cemetery. Today, that call center has been permanently shut down. But the story doesn't end there. After that incident, Samar and I promised we would never even go near that building again. A few months later, Samar got a new job at another company. Everything was normal again. We had almost forgotten Ava and that call center. But then one night, at exactly 12:45 a.m., Samar's phone rang from an unknown number. At first, he ignored it, but a few seconds later, the same number called again. This time, he answered. "Hello?" For a few moments, there was complete silence. Then came the faint, static sound of a headset, and then a voice he recognized instantly. "Hello, this is Ava speaking. How can I help you?" Samar almost dropped his phone, because the number calling him was none other than the landline number of that abandoned BPO call center. And the most terrifying part? Ever since that night, every single night at exactly 12:45 a.m., Samar's phone rings, and the call always comes from that same closed call center. For more true horror stories like this, make sure to subscribe.